How's it going, Victor? I tried to get Carrie to send me one of those shirts like you got, but she don't want to send one. I told her I'd pay the money for it, but she keeps on wanting to send me these plain ones. And you're right, you're nowhere near as good as Air Boss on the camera, by the way. Air Boss does a wonderful job. No, she said they were $60. I was expecting her to send me a deal on them, a purchase receipt on it, but she sent me for the regular T-shirt instead. Yeah, like I said, Air Boss is excellent on the camera, and she does a really good job. Kudos to her. Of course, you feed her good. I see you took her to a nice Chinese place there. That looked great there. The food she had on the one picture you sent the other day, Victor. I like eating at Chinese buffets too, but only if they're good. New York, it's all Italian around here. Oh, I don't mind the black shirt, but I like that one that you had the orange or red sleeves on. I like that. That's a sharp shirt. You look great in it. I'd like to have a shirt like that one. Yeah, but aren't you out by Palmdale, California somewhere? There's got to be a lot of good Chinese places around there compared to upstate New York here, where everything's Italian. Everything's Italian. We got all kind of good Italian joints around here. I just got done working on my P38 and decided to go live tonight for a while. I had a retract go out on the P38, so it went out while it was up, so I had to take it apart, set it so it was down, and put it back together so I can still use the plane even though it's gonna be flying dirty for a while. They want $19 for a new retract motor, which ain't a big deal, but I mean, it's kind of like I wish I could upgrade to a better motor, but I'm not sure which one I would be able to get in there. I like the way the P38 flies, but you have to be super careful on tip stalls with that plane. She needs to have her speed for sure. So you're more out on the coast, not out toward the desert then. Yeah, $19 for a retract motor is kind of high. Yeah, I agree. And who's to say one of the other ones don't go out, next 2 or 3 flights, it's just crazy. I mean, Flightline, I like the quality of the actual P38 as far as where everything's mounted at. They got a lot of plastic in there, which adds to the weight of the plane, and that's another reason why you got to keep the plane going fast is because it's a heavier plane. Yeah, you have to be up above 70% throttle with that plane in order to do turns. Oh, you're only 10 minutes from the beach. Oh my God, that's nice. That's nice. Yep, that's a real nice area then. You know, I don't dislike California in a whole, but I just couldn't stand all the traffic there and all the freeways. I had to go out to Palmdale, in fact, when my B1B was being built out the Rockwell Assembly Plant. About the same time Brad Lineberger's brother was out there working. He was one of the people working on that project. I imagine so. Getting that sea breeze, that'd be a little bit cooler than the valley itself. Like I said, in a whole, I don't mind California, especially up to Shastas. I love it up there. You know, very beautiful up to Shastas. You know, up by Lake Tahoe, that's pretty area. You know, and I didn't mind around Bakersfield so much. But when you get down toward LA and going down toward San Diego, it's just so much traffic, and the highways were so congested, and the smog was worse. I don't know. And that was back when I was there, you know, like 20 years ago. I haven't been back to California for 20 years. Although I probably should go back. I've been invited to go to a couple fly-ins out there. But right now with the bills from the stroke are been quite intense. Uh, my medical insurance didn't cover all of it because I'm a VA only medical person. So I ended up having to pay out of pocket for MRIs and the head CT scans. And, you know, so I wasn't expecting to have to shell out an extra $8,000 here, you know. So that kind of curbed my RC budget this year for traveling. That and the fact I had to reinvest money into the Tug Hill Estates. Oh yeah, well, I can only imagine the smog has gotten better. California has a much higher standard on smog control, no doubt about that, compared to around here in New York. You know, and New York's still pretty bad. I mean, they still test your exhaust and everything here, but their standards are nowhere near as tight as California. And New York City traffic's nuts too. I don't go down there very often. If I have to go down to the cities, I usually just go ahead and take mass transit in, and they come out on mass transit. It's a lot easier than trying to drive down there. I'd rather take the train down and catch a cab and pay the fee than try to deal with driving in that nutso traffic. But I haven't had to go back to New York City for 3 years either, so I've been pretty fortunate. I stay up away from that craziness. Buffalo's kind of nice. Their traffic isn't real bad compared to down there. Oh yeah, well, if you ever come up this way, I got a guest room in my house. I mean, you wouldn't have to pay for a room if you came up to New York. I would put you up in my house. I have a 4,300 square foot house with a 3 acre backyard and about 3/4 of an acre front yard on it. And the house actually sits on a 15 acre lot here. And then I have a cabin up in the mountains too. as well. That you and her could stay in the cabin if you want it. It's an A-frame cabin. It's pretty nice. I got it cleaned up and looking good. And then I could take you. We could go do some water flying. I don't know how you'd like to do a water flying. You like flying jets all the time. Around here, in order to fly jets, you have to either go to Frankfurt or Syracuse. That's got improved runways in order to fly a jet. Yeah, I could save you a ton of money if you want to visit the upstate New York area. It's beautiful up here. Very beautiful up here, the upstate. I mean, it's mountains and trees and woods and deer and moose and bear, and it's way different than down below I-90. There's like a separation line where I-90 runs. Anything south of I-90 is way more populated. And then anything above I-90 is not too many things. Well, you wouldn't even have to bring no planes. I would supply the planes and radio. If you want to fly off the water. I mean, I've got plenty of planes to fly off the water. I think I've got 5, 6 different planes that are on regular floats, and then I've got the Seabirds, 2 of them, and yeah, I just bring it all out. You wouldn't have to bring anything but what you want to wear, which I would recommend if you do come to upstate New York. Make sure you bring a couple long sleeve shirts at least if you're coming in the summer, and if you're coming in the winter, that's a whole different thing. Well, you got to dress for success in the winter up here. The best time of year to come up here is in late September, early October is the best time because all the fall colors, all the trees turn different colors. We've got yellows and oranges and browns and 4 different shades of green, and it's very beautiful in the fall here. Very, very beautiful in the fall, and the weather's not too bad. I mean, it's in between, but like it's at 40s at night and stays up around 60s to 70s during the day. Not too bad. Oh yeah, but like I said, my house stays maintained at 68 degrees all year round. We have a central heating and air conditioning unit on the house, so we keep the house at a constant temperature. Hey GB, how you doing, bro? Long time since I heard from Washington. The Mount Baker crew. To be kind of early there yet, like 9 o'clock out there. GB, about 9 o'clock out there. And how's you and your new child doing? That's only for now. Only for now. You'll get some of that time back when they get older and they want to do their own thing. 10, 14. Okay. I was just telling Victor I had to reinvest in the vineyard here this year. We had a really good crop of grapes going, but they got a little buggy, so they got to buy grapes now this year. So we end up having to reinvest. Now 10, 15 is not, like I said, you're 4 hours difference from me. Like I said, I ended up working on that P38 for a half hour to get that retract back down. And I said, well, I want to go live for a while, see how everybody's doing. And, I've been experimenting with both the UMX market and the big market here lately. I got that UMX Voodoo, and that thing's a screamer, really fast for what it is. And I also bought the Habu 50 millimeter, and that thing's a riot to fly. Yeah, I like the little Voodoo too. I mean, it flies great. I have no issue with how it flies. It flies really good. And I was surprised at the time I was getting out of it. I mean, I actually uh, got a really good amount of time on a recommended battery, and I see that RC Reviewer put an 850 in there, and you know he's getting the same times out of the 850 milliamp battery. Yeah, but I'm wondering if that's going to be a lot of stress on the wings on that Voodoo. If you put a 4S in there, if the weight's going to put too much stress on the wings, I don't want to snap them. It's a beautiful little plane, although it's not very good to fly in the evenings or the mornings because it's hard to see because it's darker. Mm. Okay, Victor. Well, like I said, if you're interested in coming for a visit, just let me know. And like I said, I've got a guest room. I'll put you up in, or you can stay at the cabin. Your choice. You guys have a great evening. And tell Air Boss to keep up the great work. Yeah, she seems to be doing a good job driving. Yeah, GB, being a father is a hard task when they're younger. But you know, you give her you wait till she hits about 10 years old, then they don't want to have nothing to do with you. You know, they want to have their own time, their own space. You know, both my children were that way anyway. I don't know about how yours is going to be, but that's just the way it seemed to me. They get to that age. Oh yeah, you know, you expect it as a father. You know that time will come where they're going to be their own person, or they want to be their own person, and all you can do is guide them anyway. There's uh there's no absolutes in parenting, GB. Honestly, there's no absolutes in parenting. You know, usually the first child's the best one, though. I'll say that. Same goes with my brother's children and my other brother's children. Their first child was the best one out of them all. You know, his my brother's son turned out to be a physician's assistant, and he's working toward his doctor right now. And my daughter is a doctor. Uh, she's a doctor of psychology. Oh yeah, yeah. I can understand.